me just start by welcoming members in attendance, and let me ask our participants to just occupy the seats in here quickly before we commence the other activities meant to usher in the program. Dr. Pato Serrani, if I'm Thank you very much, Dr. Pato. I think I should be comfortable with Pato. That should be better. Don't let me massacre the other. You are very much welcome. Our director of the Cultural Studies, Professor
the need for the support of the institution concerned, the involvement of key faculties, and in particular male colleagues in the process. What is meant there is that when we talk about gender, it has both the male and female components. So the implication is that it always looks like a comparative study that looks at what is happening to the male and looks at what is happening to the female at a particular point in time. And trying to see how to balance the two.
Agriculture and food security in Nigeria, bridging the gender gaps. Much of our deliberation shall be towards this theme, and I believe at the end of the whole discussion, every one of us will be enriched to enhancing gender equality in our different community. These are the objectives, the purpose why this workshop was staged. Number one is to enhance the awareness about Humboldt Foundation Fellowship Program. Humboldt Foundation is one of the best financial body in terms of academic activities that I've ever witnessed, and I think many people are also witnesses to this fact. Number two, we want to enhance gender awareness and sensitization among staff and students of Awolowo University. We want people to be informed about gender issues and to be gender aware. In short, we want everybody to be wearing gender logo everywhere so that our community will become habitable for everybody, male and female. Number three is that we want to identify opportunities for improving the integration of gender consideration into agricultural curriculum and research in this university. We are so privileged that our university is at the forefront in the issue of gender and alleviation. This institution has forged ahead in putting in place gender equality, gender equity action plan, which has reached strategic base of implementation. We are happy to belong to such a university like this. So this workshop is just to contribute to such a move, giving opportunity for us to improve the integration of gender consideration into our curriculum, especially agricultural curriculum. And the last objective is we want to empower the academics in gender responsive research proposal writing. If there's any criteria that is of paramount to international bodies nowadays, is to see how a proposal is the level at which a proposal is gender responsive. So we want to see how we would pass on this quality of writing proposal that is gender responsive.
Let's think about our own situation and find research and conduct research to solve our own problems. Nobody if people are not engaged, well, they have been doing it. Look at the young founder. We developed it, somebody else went and patented it and marketed it. You know, so please let's have that in mind, especially the graduate students. The graduate students who are interested in research. Let's try to think development. And then let's engage the industry, let's engage the government, you know, so that we too can, you know, raise our heads. And it will not be always that everybody is contributing money for the development of Africa, for treating malaria, for, you know, all these things. Let's raise our heads. We can do it. Thank you very much.
Humboldt Foundation does not care if all the awardees for a particular year are scientists or humanities scholars in Yoruba language. It doesn't concern them. What concerns them is excellence.
Mainstream policy arenas. Therefore, gender mainstreaming is simultaneously intended as a way of improving the effectiveness of mainline policies by making visible the gender nature of assumptions, processes, and outcomes. What you find common to all these definitions is the broad goal of achieving gender equality. Why do we need to achieve gender equality? Because gender social relations, gender division of labor, cultural norms, and all that perpetuate inequalities between men and women. Inequality in access to resources, inequality in decision making, and so many other inequalities.
Religion and culture among many other elements. So your research must be conscious of this very fact that when we are talking about male and female, we are talking about something that has to do with social construction. So now, why do you think gender-sensitive research proposal is necessary? Why do you think? Number one, to contribute to global efforts and actions, to recognizing that women's rights, men's rights are human rights. Next to that is your data analysis. In the art of writing gender-responsive research proposal, you have to show clearly to the people who are going to review your proposal, how are you going to analyze your data? It is very important. Although it is part of a research methodology, but I bring it out clearly because it's one of the problems that we people are. How are you going to analyze your research data?
The other side of the coin of gender mainstreaming, which would be gender budgeting, and I will go through that. Maybe it is relatively new to you. Okay, so maybe we should see that women's share in agriculture, it's the difference between these years. So maybe the next one. So in Latin America, we have a share about 40, in Asia 60, and probably in many African countries, you have a share of around 80%. I'm not sure about the data here in Nigeria, so we could add them. For Europe, it's interesting, there was and is a gap. In Western European countries, there is not so many women still working in the field of agriculture, but in I'm not thinking that you can take over these models from other countries. I would rather say you should look into the situation where you have a balanced, let's say, gender arrangement. And in most of the societies, we had a gender balanced situation, but a division of labor. It's not that you have to do everything just the same, but it means that it should not be a situation where one is living on the cost of the other. It is more to see how can we find a fair balance.
I am a woman. I should not wait and say because the husband is supposed to give and spend for the family, so I'm hiding my own money, and I'm expecting my husband or the person married at home to be spending while I am hiding my own money. So the issue of gender equality is not about competition. It's just about being fair.
When you are treated as second-class citizens, you internalize it, and automatically you behave that way. And that is the problem. But I want to inform you that culture changes, although it changes gradually. And we should not be afraid to change. We should not be afraid to change. The only constant about life is what? Change. We should not be afraid to change. Today, are you listening? If you are in Lagos and you are both hustling for jobs, you waited so long, you got a good job. Your wife also, you needed 2 incomes because of the high rent and all that. She got a banking job. There is the baby, there is the cooking, there is the cleaning. But what are you going to do? You want her to lose her job and insist that you are going to follow tradition. Are you going to join hands together to move the family forward? That is gender equality for me. It's being realistic and it's being fair to one another.
So I want to start by asking you to write your own words. What gender means. A sheet of paper will pass to you. Write it. Put your gender on top and possibly your name. Give me the definition of gender. That you do within 2 minutes. Gender equity stands for the steps, the approaches, the principles, the programs, the projects that individual, governmental body, NGO, or developmental body has put in place to bring about gender equality.
To bring about real and sustainable development in Nigeria, research and curriculum of training in the universities will emanate from the people who are the custodians of culture in order to see and improve those aspects of culture that discriminate and subjugate women in society.
Of some nations of the world. Then, the moment we agree that we need this, and the solution is here with us, why don't we just close the gap and ensure that we have more?
I have modified the title from gender research in food security and meat policy. So there is a new term that I also would like to introduce to you that I'm working on. It's part of my research project, and it's the shift from food security to meal security and to meal policy, to know about the environment, the technology that is needed, the social organization, and the population. So we will engender our concepts of methodologies, our theoretical conceptualization, because also human ecology need to be engendered. Our economic theories need to be engendered. We have them, but they are up to now, let's say, neutral, but the world is not gender neutral. We have a gender differentiation. And the meal security approach will open, I think, also a new perspective in the whole agriculture discussion, nutrition discussion, and food security discussion. This is why I have tried to combine them
Dear Christina, when the presenter was talking about this organization,
Looking at
within
the purpose, we were not living all by ourselves.
Where will be
You're
in that context?
the women have much more.
We may be factors. Despite use of us, which is English that got them, for them to be improved in their socio-economic conditions.
Now, most times specifically for the
So,
dimensions of food. And we begin to understand food not just in terms of what we bring to the table, but also the commercial aspect of food. Who is around to eat the food? How is the food being eaten? That said, let me get to my question. The number one question I want to ask is, from human ecologist perspective, how do you locate, or what is the origin, theoretical origin of gender inequality? How do we get, at what particular point, how do we explain this gender inequality?
If they are 80% active in agriculture, they have already done that. It's nothing new that we are expecting them to do. But actually, the new data, will tell you that their amount has even reduced during these last.
Do you understand? Do you understand? So you see, essentially, gender equity should lead to gender equality.